Hey, I wanted to give you a quick update, a little bit on myself, but mainly about my grandfather. It is 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, August 10th, and I got news today that my grandfather was put in hospice. I don't know if I talked about this in any videos. I think I might have on the 29th or 30th vlog about how he went into the hospital again this past weekend. When I made the prayers video a few days before that, he got out of the hospital and he was doing better, and I was talking to him every day, and that felt really good and I felt really hopeful. And then when he fell and had to go back to the hospital, it just felt like, I don't know, it was frustrating. My dad went down to visit him, and he just started to really go downhill, my grandfather. The worst part is that he started to lose his mind. My grandfather is like 97 and a half, and one thing that he's always had his entire life is a great memory and a great mindset, and just I don't know, I was always so proud of that. Like with his wife who passed away, my grandmother, she started to lose her mind a little bit towards the past like year or so. Not like full-blown dementia or anything, but like enough where like her memory loss, that was the main thing. Like she would repeat things and she'd forget that she told you. My grandfather just didn't have that. But in the past few days, his memory hasn't been so great, but he's kind of been like hallucinating. And apparently my other grandfather passed away many years ago. The same thing happened right before he died, and the same thing happened right before my grandma died. Or, well, both my grandmothers have died, but for sure my dad's mother. So my dad just feels like this is like he could go any day now. I found out today, as I said, that he went into hospice care, which makes me happy because, well, happy is not the right word, but relieved, I guess, because I just didn't like the idea of him being in the hospital. He hated being in the hospital. And even though his mind wasn't fully there, I just feel like physically he would know he was in the hospital on some level. So I don't know much about the hospice center that he's at. I know my grandmother was there before she passed away, or when she passed away. I just hope they're taking really good care of him. My dad had to go back home, but he's only a few hours away, so he might go down again as soon as he can. And I heard today that he was put on morphine for pain. Apparently a few days ago his pain went away and he wasn't talking about pain because he was just in a different state, but I don't know. I'm hearing this through text message and emails and all this stuff. It's just been tough, like hearing about this through my dad. Like I talked to my dad on the phone yesterday. He called to give me an update and he sounded pretty composed, but then like he got home a little after that, and my sister texted me to let me know that my dad started crying. And I've just been trying to hold myself together. Right now I like feel like I could cry, but I don't really need to at the moment. So I'm making this video not just to update you, but for those of you who do pray, for those of you who do any sort of energy work or energy, if you believe in the power of energy and healing energy, if you could put that out there for me and for my grandfather and for my dad and for my whole family. It's tough going through this. I have a church meeting tonight that I didn't really feel like going to, but I'm going to go for my grandfather. I'm going to go because they always pray at the end of it, and they're such strong believers. I feel like it would be good energetically, but I also feel like that's what my grandfather would want me to do. I'm getting choked up now because it's like, I think the saddest part for me is like, it's like, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen with my grandfather. Like, chances are right now, he's going to pass away really soon. I'm going out to Massachusetts in a few weeks, and I'm probably going to miss him, which I really was hoping wasn't going to be the case. I was hoping that he would hang in there. And maybe he will. But I feel like he's letting go. And to look at it from a non-selfish standpoint, maybe that's for the best, you know? He was suffering, his body was breaking down. You know, he might have had a stroke. They think that he might have cancer, and he's just not in a state where they could do anything about cancer if he does have it. Again, he had prostate cancer years ago. So, you know, it's like, selfishly, I want my grandfather to be in my life. But I also really want what's best for him, and I want him to go out in a good state. I don't want him to go out in pain. He was apparently, like, the things that he was saying that were a bit hallucinogenic were, like, really positive things. Like, my dad told me he was talking about his garden, which was, like, my grandfather's pride and joy. He was really into growing things like tomatoes. And I guess he was, like, talking about growing tomatoes yesterday. So, maybe he is in a better place. And he was talking about being, like, with his brother on a train or something. But yeah, selfishly, I wish that I could talk to him one more time, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I know I said that, like, last week, whenever that was, and I did get to talk to him a bunch. I talked to him like 3 or 4 days in a row last weekend. I'm really glad I did that. I don't know, it's like I want closure or something. Like, I'd like to be able to say goodbye. But he's probably, like, I don't even know if he would know if I called him, you know? Just kind of waiting to see if I'll have that opportunity. The problem is, like, my dad's side of the family is just a little bit more on the, like, negative side. Like, they kind of just are afraid, I think sometimes afraid to, like, be hopeful. So, that is the worst part for me, is I just, like, I think they're trying to be super realistic and matter of fact. And I just, like, want people to believe in hope, you know? And I just wish I could be there. But flying all the way across the country when I already have a plane ticket for September 1st, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or if it would even help for me to be there. So, I wanted to make this video to update you because I know a lot of you care, and I really would like your prayers, and I'm hoping that I don't have to make a different kind of update on my grandfather anytime soon, but who knows. I actually have to get going to go to this church group, but just an update. I want to do the vlogs. I guess I'm taking a little break. I had 2 big video projects this week and some others that I'm working on, and I've got a lot of other things that need my focus energetically and time-wise. So I'll start up the vlogs again soon, I think. You'll hear from me soon, no matter what. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for putting me in your thoughts, supporting me energetically, praying for me if you do that, and whatever you have, if you have anything like comforting, like some of you sent me things to read, some of you sent prayers, some of you sent a lot of things, and I just want you to know that they're really, really appreciated. Just knowing that you're there means the world. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.